From soups to quiches to eating it raw, asparagus is one of the most versatile vegetables around. Chef John Selick from the Ahuja Medical Center joins us with some creative ideas on how to cook up this delicious vegetable. How are you doing? Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
First thing I have to ask you about is this display of asparagus here. I didn't know that it came in all these different colors.
The purple is becoming really popular now. I think everyone has seen the green asparagus is pretty standard, and white asparagus has been on the fancier menus in the past. And like I said, purple asparagus is a variety of asparagus that's becoming more and more popular. So these two are a variety, and these two are, we have the white asparagus and we also have pink asparagus, is a result of how it's cultivated. And that's by taking the green asparagus and growing it in the dark.
Really?
And then you get white, yeah, so you cease photosynthesis and no chlorophyll develops and you have white asparagus. And then if you take the purple asparagus, grow it in the dark, you end up with pink asparagus.
So no light whatsoever?
No light. So in the old days, nowadays we grow it in the dark. And in the old days, they would, as it would grow, they would keep pushing dirt over it to, so it doesn't get any sunlight. Nowadays, farmers are just kind of growing in the pitch dark, like tents, sort of, and just prohibit sunlight, and then you end up with a nice white asparagus or pink asparagus.
Now, is there any difference in taste between these different?
Subtle flavors.
Varieties?
I mean, at the end of the day, it still tastes like asparagus. There's a subtle sweetness I find in the white asparagus compared to the green. I think the green is probably your most assertive flavored asparagus. And then if you have white asparagus, it's not so grassy and kind of a little bit sweeter, maybe not as bitter as the green asparagus. And even the purple asparagus I find to be really tender. This is perfect for eating raw. It's full of antioxidants. You know about eating a rainbow in dark green vegetables and in dark purple vegetables. So the purple asparagus has more antioxidants, so it's probably the healthiest of all the asparagus. I find it to be less fibrous and a little more sweeter. So when eating raw, this is probably your number one choice to go to. And I also like to shave the asparagus, with a peeler to make a little salad. And you can squeeze a little lemon juice and just a dash of good extra virgin olive oil and maybe some sea salt. And that's a great way to eat raw asparagus. And probably one of the healthiest way to keep all the vitamins intact. Because blanched asparagus in boiling water is really good, but you sort of lose some of the nutrients in cooking.
I think I know for myself, blanching is not my best skill.
You get scared?
What's the technique? Because personally, when I'm making like a vegetable tray, I love the blanched asparagus that's blanched and chilled.
Yeah.
It just seems to taste a little better than the raw. What is the trick to getting it that perfect crispness?
Just 30 seconds in water. Get water boiling, some salt. A good amount of salt helps the water boil even harder. And into the water in literally 30 seconds, and then in the ice water. And what you're doing is just sort of cooking off a little bit of that bitterness of the raw vegetable, which isn't my favorite either. I would prefer to grill or roast asparagus. There are people that, the raw diet is a big movement that people enjoy. It is a healthier diet. Like I said, a lot of times nutrients get lost in cooking methods, but it also generally makes the food taste better. So that's why we like to cook things. So if you're gonna blanch it, boiling water, a good amount of salt in there, almost like you're cooking pasta. It should taste like the ocean. And really just like 20 to 30 seconds, just to kind of remove some of the bitterness in ice water, and it'd be nice bright green and real crispy still.
I'll have to experiment in the kitchen with that.
Now some people like really soft vegetables, and that's not wrong. I mean, my mom, and she's older, she likes vegetables softer, where I like them crisper. So it's really personal taste. It's not really wrong. It's just how you like it.
Now you mentioned grilling. What type of marinades work well with asparagus?
I think the best one, my go-to, is just olive oil and balsamic vinegar. And honestly, I'll grill these sometimes, if I have a hot grill, dry. I'll put them on a grill dry, let them get a nice char, and then take them off, and while they're still hot, I'll hit it with a little bit of olive oil and balsamic vinegar, and the hot asparagus sort of absorbs it. When grilling, if you have olive oil, sometimes you get those flare-ups, and it throws like an off flavor. So I'll just go on dry roast, take it off, and then hit it with the marinade at the end, let it absorb it, and then we'll finish it with some sea salt and fresh cracked pepper. Lemon juice is also really good. Very, very simple. People maybe not, they don't think it's that very fancy because it's so simple, but it's actually delicious.
It tastes amazing. And the one nice thing is, well, before you add the olive oil, the calories, I was looking up the nutrition information for a half a cup of asparagus, 20 calories.
It's nothing.
Right. It's a dieter's dream, and 1.8 grams of fiber and actually 2 grams of protein, which I was surprised. A lot of good vitamins and minerals. What's the most unique way people are using asparagus, which when you're seeing in your line of work?
You know, this is my favorite thing about asparagus is it's definitely springtime. It's a very seasonal vegetable, at least when getting things locally. So to me, it's like the end of winter. You know it's not going to snow no more when you get asparagus on the menu. People are doing things like, they're shaving them real thin and using the asparagus itself as like a pasta dish. Like especially with the low carb thing. So they'll, like I said, take a peeler and they'll shave it thin and it'll look like fettuccine strands and just cook it really lightly with other stuff, and they'll use that as the pasta and less carbs in your diet. Like you mentioned earlier, quiches and omelets. Asparagus goes great with omelets and eggs. My favorite way is grilled and roasted. Very simple. It's just my favorite way. People, when I put them on menus at Ahuja, we put in our cafeteria every now and then, they go crazy. We can't even keep up when we have grilled asparagus.
How do they handle like the green or white? The purple or white? Do people say, what is that?
They get very excited because, like they said, I've never seen white or pink asparagus. Now, the thing with purple asparagus, I don't know if you know, any purple vegetable, peppers, there's even purple okra, once you cook it, it turns green. So this will turn a dark green. So I'll often grill this one side, and one side will turn dark green, but I'll keep the purple. So it's sort of a semi-cooked because you want to show off how beautiful it is. But people get really excited, and because they didn't realize, because this isn't available at Giant Eagle all the time.
No,
you have
it's just in season.
You have to know somebody. It's
right
just in
now
season.
For a couple years, for a couple months,
weeks.
not a couple weeks.
Maybe a little, almost 2 months. And you can get it year round. They import it from Peru. So you can get it year-round, but the local asparagus, if you look at the local asparagus, it's full of flavor, because when they're shipping from Peru, who knows how long it takes to get here.
Right,
so
it's a little bit of a distance.
It's a little bit of distance. They're probably picking it when it's really green, or when it's ripe, and by the time you get here, there's a little age to it. It's not as crisp.
Well, John, these have been some amazing tips. If our viewers would like to contact you for some more cooking tips, or stop by Ahuja and have some of your food in the cafe there, how can they reach you? What's the best way?
I'm at Ahuja Medical Center 5 days a week, sometimes 6, and I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. My name, one word. You can follow me on there and then direct message me, and I'll be happy to share any tips that I have.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back with more Mind, Body, and Spirit.